Fort Bossier City, 90.7 FM KLSA, Alexandria Pineville, 90.9 FM KBSA, El Dorado, Camden, Magnolia, 88.9 FM KLDN, Lufkin, Nacogdoches, and 100.7 FM KTYK, Overton, Tyler, Kilgore. In the Red River Radio studios with me tonight, I have Twang Darkly, which consists of Michael Futrell, Lane Bayless, and Joel Boltinghouse. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great, Kiara. We're glad to be here.
I'm so glad to have you. So, again, this is our spring pledge drive, so they're here to play some great tunes for us and hopefully get the phones ringing. So, what's first for us, guys?
We're going to do a little piece we call Get My Gourd.
Okay. Whenever you're ready. This is Red River Radio. We have Twang Darkly in the Red River Radio studios with us tonight until 10 p.m. So call in and make a contribution of support if you love the music that you're hearing. And these guys, this isn't their first time playing here on Red River Radio. They've been here before, and you know, I love hearing their music, defined as rural space music. Where did that come from?
Well, you got to call your music something because people always ask you, what kind of music do you play? And I guess it just was on the top of my head one day that it was kind of spacey and it was sort of rural. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a mix of a variety of influences, and that was what came out one day, and it seemed like a useful way to describe it.
Yeah. And can you share some insights on your newest album? I saw that you guys released something last year, 2024.
That's right. It's an album called Beyond the Fields We Know. All original stuff, instrumental. I think maybe a couple pieces might have actually been recorded here in your studio.
Cool.
Live on the air. It's all mostly live stuff. So the kind of stuff you would hear us do at a show. You can check it out on Bandcamp, or probably if you see us live, you can grab a CD too.
Perfect. 1-800-552-8502. Let's get into the rest of the tunes you guys have for tonight. What's next for us?
We're going to do a Bruce Springsteen song here called Factory.
Okay.
Early in the morning, factory whistle blows. Man rises from bed, puts on his clothes. Man takes his lunch, walks out in the morning light. It's the working, just the working life. Through the mansions of fear, through the mansions of pain, see my daddy walking through them factory gates in the rain. Factory takes his hearing, factory gives him life. It's the working, just the working life. End of the day, factory whistle cries. Men walk through these gates, they got death in their eyes. Well, you just better believe, boy, somebody's gonna get hurt tonight. Just the working, just the working life. Ah, it's the working, just the working life. All right. We're going to do one called We Navigate by Uncertain Stars, which means I got to grab another instrument. So Joel, tell us about yourself.
Hello. It's nice to be out of the wind here in a indoor studio here, and things are sounding great. We
Yeah, they are.
appreciate all the work, all the microphones. Y'all don't see it, or maybe you do if you're on YouTube, but a lot of work goes into setting up a three-piece band like us. You know, I don't even know how many microphones there are, but it takes a lot of work for us to sound like this. And so we are happy to be here, and we appreciate everybody's effort here at Red River Radio, and it would be great to hear the phones ring.
That's right. If you enjoy public radio, now's the time to call in and support Red River Radio.
1-800-552-8502. Just out of curiosity, do you guys have any merch that your listeners could buy and support you?
They can look us up online on Bandcamp, buy our albums there as downloads. You can, of course, find us on streaming platforms as well, but, you know, don't really make any money off of that kind of thing. But you can enjoy it if you like. We're all out of T-shirts and such, though, right now, so can't help you except for some music.
Now, I do have a question for you, Michael. How do you make a gourd?
Well, somebody helpfully grows it for you first.
Okay.
And once it's harvested, it dries for a few months, and you have to cut it open and scrape the insides of it out.
Kind of like a cantaloupe or a honeydew.
It's a lot like a cantaloupe or a honeydew, except the shell is wooden.
Okay. So is it wait, I'm confused. Is it like a fruit?
Yes,
Okay.
but it's a hard-shelled fruit.
But a hard-shelled fruit.
There are some varieties of gourd that are edible, but you can't really make instruments out of those.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, cool. 1-800-552-8502. If you have any funky questions for Michael and his homemade instruments, call and let us know. What's next for us, guys?
We navigate by uncertain stars.
You're listening to Red River Radio. We have Twang Darkly in the Red River Radio studios tonight. That includes Michael Futrell, Lane Bayless, and Joel Boltinghouse. And Michael just took off a harmonica he had attached to his head. And every time I see Michael, he always has something cool, like this gourd we were talking about earlier. Is that the gourd in front of you right now that we can see?
This instrument in front of me is similar to the gourd instrument, but this one's just made from a plank of wood.
And it's kind of like he's playing a guitar, but a xylophone, but a sliding, and almost like a banjo. It's like three instruments in one.
And it's called a chromatic dulcimer.
A chromatic dulcimer.
Which is a variation of an instrument called a mountain dulcimer, which you find up in Appalachian region.
Yeah, and Appalachian jazz, that really makes up the rural space music style. And, you know, I really like that we can bring on you guys to the studio, in that our listeners, they're not concerned on, oh, what's playing, and oh, this is like different. This is not what I'm used to. I think that's the cool thing about Red River Radio, that we can bring on artists like you guys and just have some fun.
Well, variety is the spice of life, and that's what public radio is bringing to people.
Yeah. 1-800-552-8502. We want to hear from you. When you make that contribution of support, you ensure that artists like Michael and Joel and Lane, that they can come back and perform for more years to come. How long have you guys been performing? Do you remember your first performance on Red River Radio?
Ooh, I think it was in 2012, but I wouldn't swear to that.
It was in the little
It was back when you had the trailer.
portable
over on
buildings.
campus.
Yeah.
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 And all three of us were in a very, very small room, as I recall.
Yeah, that's we had another artist, I believe, the last Pledge Drive, who said the same thing. I did not get a chance to see the T buildings. I've just only seen this renovated church. So
This is much nicer.
No comparison.
oh yeah. Again, 1-800-552-8502. That's the number that you can call. Get in on our drawings that we have. This Friday, we have a drawing for a 2-night stay in Jefferson, Texas. It's at the Carriage House Bed and Breakfast. It comes with a bunch of cool amenities, including, it's just moments away from downtown, so you can do a little shopping, drink a little wine. In the package, you can get 2 gourmet meals and a lot of other different cool things. We have a giveaway next week for the mattress from Mattress Plus, and then we have a grand finale drawing, which would be a package from Expedia Cruises. So you can pick a cruise, you can pick to do a land tour, or if you like skiing, you can do a ski package as well.
That sounds dangerous, Kiara.
Oh, what's dangerous? Skateboarding.
Agreed.
Maybe that's one of the packages, a skateboarding package for 2.
I think Twang Darkly might have aged out of the skateboarding package.
Oh, yeah. 1-800-552-8502. What's next for us, guys?
We're going to do a piece called The Big Shindig.
Okay. This is Red River Radio. Again, we have Twang Darkly in the Red River Radio studios with us tonight, and we want to hear from you. So call in 1-800-552-8502. Now, Michael, you're also a teacher of sociology. Is
That's
that
right.
correct?
I'm a visiting assistant professor of sociology at Centenary College.
Do you find any parallels between teaching and composing music?
I find parallels between teaching and performing. Being in front of a classroom and trying to keep it interesting, and it's very much a performance, and it's also a lot of improvisation.
Yeah.
In the classroom, especially if you're running a discussion or something.
Yeah. How do you encourage students to engage with local arts and culture,
Well,
if you do?
that hasn't come up a lot lately, but now that you mention it, I should be doing that.
Cool.
There's a lot of art activities going on campus that a lot of my students are engaged in, so mostly they're encouraging me to come see their stuff.
Okay, cool. 1-800-552-8502. What's next for us, guys?
We're going to do one now called Scenic Overlook.
Okay. You're listening to Red River Radio, and you listen because you care. Whether it's the jazz, the classical, the local artists coming in to share their music, something about this station matters to you. Maybe it's the stories, the trusted news, or maybe just the fact that Red River Radio is always on and always here when you need it. We're in our spring pledge drive, and we need your support. We can talk about matching hours and giveaways all night, and sure, those things are great, but at the end of the day, what really matters is you. So if you care about quality music, donate. If you care about trustworthy news, donate. If you care about the community that we've built here, then donate. You can listen for free, and we're glad that you do, but when you make a donation, you're not just a listener anymore. You're a part of the reason that this station keeps going. You help keep the music playing, the news reporting, and the voices on the air. So call 1-800-552-8502 now to make a donation of support. Be a part of the voice that keeps public radio strong, just like Rick Hawthorne from Longview, Texas. Thank you so much for making a contribution of support.
Thank you, Rick.
And also, just now, Julie Singh from McKinney, Texas. Loves the live music and has a joke. How do you fix a gourd? With a pumpkin patch.
Oh, that Julie.
So thank you so much for making a contribution of support. We're just a little bit over $15,500. Our goal for tonight is $16,000, so we can make it happen with your support. 1-800-552-8502. Go online, redriverradio.org, or make that contribution of support on our app. And as always, thanks. Twang Darkly in the Red River Radio studios tonight. What is next for us, guys?
Well, because Lane likes him so much, I'm going to do another Springsteen song. This is one most people know, but it's kind of an misunderstood song. This one's called Born in the USA.
Okay.
Born down in a dead man's town. First kick tickles when I hit the ground. Like a dog, that's won't be too much till you spend half your life just to cover it up. Born in the USA, I was born in the USA. Born in the USA, I was, oh yes I was. Got in a little hometown jam. Somebody put a rifle in my hand. Sent me off to the foreign land. Said gone and kill a yellow man. Born in the USA, I was born in the USA. Born in the USA, I was, oh yes I was. Back home to the factory, hired man said, son, if it was up to me, went down, see my VA man, he said, son, don't you understand? Had a brother, like a son, he was fighting off the Viet Cong. They're still there, he's all gone, all gone, all gone, he's all gone. He had a woman he lived in Saigon. I got a picture of him in her arms.
Twang Darkly in the Red River Radio studios with us. We are in our spring fund drive, and we need your support now more than ever. So call in 1-800-552-8502. We have some cool drawings I mentioned earlier during our spring pledge drive. The first one being this Friday at 7 p.m. It's for a 2-night stay in Jefferson at the Carriage House Bed and Breakfast. So call in, make a contribution of support. You can get in on that drawing. Call in because you listen, because you care, because Red River Radio means something to you. Just like Jody Glorioso and I were talking about earlier, Red River Radio is on in my car all the time. When I turn my car on, push start, it's on. And when I turn it off, it's on. So, you know, if you're a news junkie, call in, make a contribution of support. If you're a jazz junkie, call in, make a contribution of support. Michael, what message or experience do you hope listeners take away from your music?
Well, that's a good question. Well, I hope our music brings people in touch with creativity and landscapes. Mm-hmm. How about you, Joel?
Yeah. I mean, I like playing music with these incredibly talented guys because we don't do what anybody else does. You know, I think we're pretty unique. I mean, like Michael said earlier, we've had people come up between songs and say, you know, what kind of music is this? You know, like, you know, it's music, it's creative music. It's, you know, so I really like it because you know, we don't play the same song twice, you know.
That was going to be my next question, actually.
Yeah, you know, and I look at it as jazz in that way. You know, we have kind of a structure that we're able to improvise on, and that's really fun. You know, if Lane had a different kit, we'd be playing these songs differently. You know, if I was playing an electric guitar instead of an acoustic guitar, that would kind of change the flavor of everybody, not just what Lane's doing and not just what I'm doing, but we really listen to each other. And that's really fun to be in a band where, you know, if it's dark and it's late at night and we're in a club or something, we're going to be playing different than on a Saturday morning at a farmer's market, even though it's the same quote-unquote song. So that's really fun as a creative endeavor. You know, I get to bring whatever I feel to it.
So how do you guys translate that into the recording studio?
It's the same when we're in the recording studio. You're going to be dependent on what kind of feeling and vibes we got going that day. And a lot of our recordings in recent years have been live recordings. Our mixer that we bring to shows, I have it set up so we can record the shows in a proper way. So
in a sense, you could release the same album you released last year this year, and it could sound totally different.
It would definitely sound different.
Cool. Yeah, and a lot of times when we don't record, we always afterwards, you know, when we're packing up, you're like, darn it, we should have recorded that one version of that song, or just a random jam. You know, when we were sound checking, Michael was doing a few things, and Lane was like, oh, what's that? I like that one. That's a good one, you know. So, you know, things are just kind of happen sometimes. And luckily, sometimes we have record button pushed, and it becomes a song. Maybe a song we only do once, and it's on an album, but it's still kind of a neat, you know, sketch of what we're doing right now.
Yeah, that's a really cool concept for your band.
Yeah.
Again, 1-800-552-8502. We are in our spring pledge drive tonight, and Twang Darkly will be here with us until 10 p.m. What's next, guys?
All right, so up next, I've actually pulled out an actual mountain dulcimer, which is a bit different than the chromatic dulcimer we were talking about earlier. This, too, is an electric version of that instrument that I built myself. This one's built from an old ironing board that was in my family since the 19th century. That they decided we didn't need to use it for ironing anymore, so I got to cut it up and make it into this instrument. This one's called Wire Mountain Stomp, number 2.
Cool. You're listening to. Oh, you got me. You're listening to Red River Radio. We're having some fun in our studios tonight with Michael Futrell, Lane Bayless, and Joel Boltinghouse. Lane, I'm about to ask you a question, so don't go too far. I want you to explain your setup, because during that last song, I heard what sounded like a tambourine, but I don't see any drums or not a drum set over there. I do see a lot of percussion round.
I started to bring standard drum set, and that's what I'm used to playing, but occasionally I just go with what we have on hand, which is what we did tonight. I was unable to bring the drums, so we have a drum head and then a thing called a frame drum, and there is a tambourine. It's just a little metal ring with some jingles on it and a sort of a cowbell and a couple of mallets, and that's about it. So I'm doing the best I can, maybe.
I think.
Poor Lane had a root canal today, so, you know.
Yeah. I think if someone told me to describe Twang Darkly, I would say, well, first, a lot of improvisation, for sure.
Yeah. I was worried about where that might go, Kiara, so I'm glad that's where it went.
Well, I forgot about rural space music. So earlier today, I was talking to my buddy Tyler, and I told him that you guys were galactic electronica. So,
Okay.
There's that too.
Yeah.
We're definitely galactic. I'll go with that.
Galactic rural galactic
Rural
music.
galactic, yes. Yes.
Music from Pluto.
Galactic backwater music, perhaps.
1-800-552-8502. That's the number that you can call to make that contribution of support right now. We want to hear from you. What's next, guys?
We're going to do one now called When Argonauts Waltz.
Okay.
And it is indeed a waltz, so adjust your dancing accordingly.
You're listening to member-supported Red River Radio, here with Twang Darkly in the Red River Radio studios at 89.9 FM. This is KDAQ, Shreveport, Bossier City, 90.7 FM, KLSA, Alexandria, Pineville, 90.9 FM, KBSA, El Dorado, Camden, Magnolia, 88.9 FM, KLDN, Lufkin, Nacogdoches, and 100.7 FM, KTYK, Overton, Tyler, Kilgore, and we also broadcast on Translator K214CE in Grambling, Louisiana. And we cover a wide area. We covered North Louisiana, Central Louisiana, East Texas, parts of Arkansas, parts of Mississippi, parts of Oklahoma. And we get calls from all over. So I think that we have a very wide, very vast community here at Red River Radio. So call in and make your contribution of support. If everybody that we're listening right now donated about $10, we will be done with this pledge drive. So let's try and make it happen. 1-800-552-8502. Michael, for those who are unfamiliar, what is a dulcimer?
Okay, a dulcimer is a kind of instrument that is known as a zither, which means that unlike a type of instrument which we would call a lute, which has its strings stretched out over a neck that sticks out from a body, a zither has its strings across its whole body. Mm-hmm. This particular zither made its way to America by way of German settlers in the Pennsylvania Dutch area that eventually headed down south into Virginia and North Carolina. And they played an instrument called, and Joel can correct me on this, in German, Scheitholt. I don't know if that's how it's said. I don't speak German, but anyway, it was a box zither. Mm-hmm. And once they got down there and started hanging out with the fiddle players in Virginia and North Carolina, they realized they needed to play their box zither faster, so they raised up the strings on a fingerboard. And that's how the mountain dulcimer came to be.
That is very cool. And earlier I saw something on your finger while you were playing it. Kind of, I feel like a slider. Is that what it's called?
Slide. Yeah.
Cool.
One of my dulcimers here, the one made from a gourd, I call the electric gourd because I play it like a lap steel. Most of them I play finger style, but that one has the strings raised up real high so I can get my slide on.
So I can also imagine kind of like playing the guitar, you would have calluses from playing the dulcimer?
Sure. Very much the same.
Okay. 1-800-552-8502. Let's hear from you. We are in our spring pledge drive, and Twang Darkly is with us for about another 58 minutes. So if you're enjoying the music that you hear, call in right now. Let us know and make a contribution of support. What's next for us, guys?
We're going to do one now called Skåne Motion. Skåne is a region in Sweden. I spent some time there some years back, so this song was inspired by that stay.
Okay, let's hear it. You're listening to member supported Red River Radio, and we understand that listening is a personal experience, and we're grateful to be part of your daily life. However, to continue bringing you the diverse and enriching content you cherish, we rely on your support. So, by donating, you ensure that the music, the news, and the cultural programming you love remain accessible to everyone. So consider what this station means to you. If our programming has ever moved you or informed you or simply just been a companion during your day, make a contribution of support. Become an active participant in sustaining the station. And if a $150 donation is too much, you can break that down to $13 a month. Or if let's say a $1,000 donation, that's a $83 donation per month. And you can do great things with your donation. You ensure that Red River Radio stays on air. You ensure that our programming is still here for your listening ears every day. You ensure that the lights stay on at the radio station. So it's not just, oh, I'm donating $5 or, oh, I'm donating $10 and that doesn't mean anything. That means everything. So make a contribution of support now to show your support. 1-800-552-8502, and we have someone to thank. We would like to thank Hewland Bolting House from Oak Park, Illinois. They are enjoying the live music, and we're almost to the $16,000 threshold. So be like Hewland and make that contribution of support. 1-800-552-8502.
Thank you, Hewland.
What's next for us, guys?
We're going to do a little medley here of pieces called, first one's going to be called the Sea Rovers, and the piece that it's mixed up with is called As It Was. And I'm using my slide gourd again on this one.
Okay. You're listening to Red River Radio here with Twang Darkly in the Red River Radio studios. That's Michael Futrell, Lane Bayless, and Joel Boltinghouse. We are currently in our spring fund drive, and your support is crucial in helping us maintain the quality programming that you love. By making a donation, you're not only ensuring the continuation of the programs that you love, but also become a part of our community's voice. And as a token of our appreciation, all donors are automatically entered into our drawings. This Friday, March 21st at 7 p.m., we'll have a drawing for a 2-night stay at the Carriage House Bed and Breakfast in Jefferson. And then on March 30th, next Thursday, looking ahead, we have another drawing for a Stearns & Foster Estate luxury firm king-size mattress from Mattress Plus. And then at the end of the drive, our grand finale, it's a drawing to be entered into a 6 to 8 night cruise for two with, or it's a package with Expedia Cruises. So get in on that and make a contribution of support. 1-800-552-8502. But most importantly, make a contribution because you care. That's all. It doesn't matter if we can sit and talk all day. If Red River Radio doesn't matter to you, then you wouldn't be listening and you wouldn't make a donation. But I know that you are listening and you do care. So that's why we need your support. 1-800-552-8502. What's next for us, guys?
We're going to keep doing our occasional foray into the Springsteen songbook.
Okay.
This one is a piece called Youngstown. I was just tuning my guitar a little bit there, so, and I need to plug it in. So. Okay. I think we're ready now. Here in Northeast Ohio, back in 1803, James and Dan Eaton found the oil lying in Yellow Creek. Built a blast furnace along the shore, and they made the cannonballs that helped the Union win the war. In Youngstown, yeah, Youngstown, sinking down here, darling, in Youngstown. Well, my daddy worked in the furnaces, kept them hotter than hell. I come home from now and work my way to works. He come home from World War II. The yards is scrapped in rubble. He said them big boys did what Hitler could not do. Well, these mills, they build tanks and bombs. They won this country's wars. We sent our sons off to Vietnam, wondering what they were dying for. From the Monongahela Valley, Wasabi Iron Range, to the coal mines, Appalachia, the story's always the same. 700 tons of metal a day, and now you tell me the world has changed. Once I made you rich enough to forget my name. And Youngstown, yeah, Youngstown, we're all sinking down here, darling, in Youngstown. When I die, I don't want no part of heaven. I'd not do heaven's work well. Pray the devil come and takes me to stand in the fiery furnaces of hell. When I die, I don't want no part of heaven. I'd not do heaven's work well.
You're listening to member-supported Red River Radio. Have Twang Darkly in the Red River Radio studios, and I understand the twang. I can hear it, but where'd the Darkly come from?
Well, let's see. Back some years ago, about 2008, I recorded a piece of music, and it was kind of a spaghetti western sounding sort of thing. And I needed a title for it, and so I imagined this kind of High Plains drifter sort of character, and his name was Twang Darkly.
Okay. That's cool.
I always look at it as kind of an oxymoron. You know, twang is like a acoustic-y, brighter, treble-y kind of, and dark obviously is dark. So kind of yeah. What's the word?
Juxtaposition, I
Yeah.
think is the word you're looking for.
Yeah. No, the English one.
Why do you believe it's important for listeners to support public media and local music programs during the pledge drive?
Well, I think public media is something we need very desperately right now in America, to have a voice for the people, as you say, a place where we can get unbiased, unfiltered kind of news that's not trying to fulfill a political agenda, but that's trying to give us a common ground. So to me, public radio is crucial. Public media in general, I think, is crucial to building a better world.
Yeah, I agree, and I feel that our listeners agree too. So,
And
go ahead.
well, no. I mean, I think it's not just the NPR and such, but you know, we were talking about before while we were sound checking. You know, there's the BBC a couple times a day, which
Yeah.
is really neat to get an international perspective, because you know their hour-long program is really, you know, they'll do an in-depth thing on something in Africa or Iceland or you know wherever, you know, and it's just neat to be able to get really in-depth reporting. It's not just a soundbite when there's, you know, other things going on. You know, you hear these people walking through these villages or getting on boats or canoes or whatever. You know, it's just a really neat thing to have literally the world brought to you wherever
To
you
your
are in
ears,
your
yeah.
car. Yeah. So it's just a really neat person. I don't think is anywhere else, and it's unique and you know, and I don't think we could take it for granted, you know, that it's always going to be here and be funded. So
Yeah, and speaking of like the reporters doing stories from the BBC, I can only imagine going out and reporters going out and getting those stories, and it kind of goes the same for our reporters here locally, Jeff Farrell and Elena Atneb. They go out and they grab stories and they come back here to the studios and they edit them and they spend time listening to make sure that it's right. And they go over, they fact check, and that is a service that we provide for you. So call in and make that contribution of support if you love the news, love the music, love the local artists that we bring in. We want to hear from you. 1-800-552-8502. What's next for us, guys?
We're going to do one called Magnetosphere.
Okay. You're listening to Red River Radio, and we're here with Twang Darkly. And I know a lot of people are always looking for something new. So, are there any upcoming projects that you guys are excited about, or anything at all?
Well, we're always making new pieces. Like that piece we just played is one we played many times, but we just added a whole new section to the end of it. So who knows what will happen. We don't have any particular shows on our schedule right now because I'm in the middle of my semester and I'm very busily teaching. But hopefully this summer some things will be percolating up, and folks can follow us on Facebook or Instagram or wherever, and they'll see our shows advertised as they happen.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we like playing a lot of the like festival crafty type things. You know, we've done like farmers markets and things like that. And now that the this is the last night of winter, it will be getting into hopefully okay weather. Hopefully we'll have a spring that lasts more than a couple of hours. And
It was very windy today.
it's been extremely windy, as I said earlier. But yeah, so hopefully it's really fun to kind of just play music. Oftentimes outside. There's one that we've done that's just under these big oak trees and stuff like that. So
That's Art in the Park. That
Art in
happens
the Park.
November.
Yes. And there was another one down in South Shreveport that we've done under big trees.
That's
Cool.
Provenance.
Provenance, yes. You could tell who does the booking. Trees.
Well, I think it's a different experience to play an instrument outside, in my opinion.
It really can be, especially in Louisiana.
Oh yeah. You don't leave your instruments in the car. Humidity.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Now, there was a farmer's market back when I was playing the upright bass, and it was just one of those insanely hot days. And the way you hold an upright bass is it's kind of in front of you at your chest. And I literally steamed the front seam of my big upright bass off, and the guy who repaired it and glued it back, he said, did you have a really hot show recently? And I said, yeah. He said, well, this is exactly how we pry these two pieces of wood apart, is you apply heat and steam. And so it being up against my chest for hours, it literally steamed.
You're so hot, Joel.
I'm very hot. I'm very moist, very hot. So I steamed my bass apart and had to get fixed.
I hope your chest was okay after that.
Yeah. I had to get my chest repaired too. No, it was just just body heat,
Yeah.
and it was just one of those crazy hot days that was super hot, and I steamed literally my bass apart. So my chest was fine.
Okay. Well, that's a really cool and well, that's not a cool story. That's a hot story.
It's a hot story, hot off the press.
Yeah.
It's a hot take, as the kids say.
Oh yeah. We're in our spring pledge drive here at Red River Radio. It's the third day, and we are having some fun with Michael, Joel, and Lane in the Red River Radio studios, better known as Twang Darkly. So 1-800-552-8502, that's the number that you can call right now to make your contribution of support. Let them know they're doing great. What's next for us, guys?
We're going to do one now called Fluffy is Risen. This is actually from a film soundtrack that I did back some years ago, a film called Counting for Thunder.
Okay. You're listening to member-supported Red River Radio. We're in our spring fund drive, and you have about 14 more minutes to call and make a contribution of support. 1-800-552-8502. Let's go and try and get to $16,000 by the end of the night. We're at about 15,660. So let's go ahead and go into a matching hour. We've been in one. So call now, make a contribution of support. Your dollar will be doubled, and you'll essentially be helping us get to our goal quicker. 1-800-552-8502. What's next for us, guys?
We're going to do a piece called Beyond the Fields We Know.
Okay. So, what advice do you guys have for young artists aiming to make an impact locally?
My advice would be to do your own thing.
Yeah, find a community where you're accepted, and just follow your own muse. Just go for it.
Even if you're not accepted, keep doing your own thing.
Yeah.
We're not speaking from experience.
1-800 1-800-552-8502. That's the number that you can call right now to make that contribution of support. Our polls end in about 10 minutes. So get your call in right now. Again, 1-800-552-8502. Has there ever been a performance where you guys just completely blanked out?
Yeah, it's probably one of those really hot ones at a farmer's market. I remember Joel and I being, close to heat stroke once, and I can't remember what happened, but it must not have been good.
Yeah, some of those outdoor ones where, when you book it, like, it's nice and it's March, and you go, yeah, we'll play 4 hours from noon to 4 p.m. in July. That sounds great. And then as the hours go on, yeah, your wits are not about you all the time. So there's been some pretty glorious train wrecks that we've had, usually heat related.
Or occasionally we have technical snafus as well, because, as a small band, we end up doing a lot of our own technical work, and
Yeah.
that's okay as long as it's going well. But then when something goes wrong and you're in the middle of a piece, it's not so easy to recover from.
Can you discuss the evolution of your music since the band first started?
Well, yeah, I can. I began recording the stuff that would become our repertoire back maybe in, I think 2008 was the first album worth of this kind of music I had put together. And then I did another one in 2010 called Devil's Stomping Ground. And strangely, I got a call one day, somebody looking to stage a performance with a dulcimer player. And I thought this was a prank. I'm like, who is this? This is Gabriel. Nobody wants a dulcimer player to come perform somewhere. But they did, and it so happened I had been playing occasionally at jam sessions with Joel, so I immediately thought, I need to get Joel in on this. And we had another drummer at the time, Troy Messina, who was a physics professor at Centenary, and he played with us for about 4 years. And Lane and I were just talking about this the other day. Troy had is a different sort of drummer than Lane is, and very much in the pocket, I would say.
Yeah, more of a rock, straightforward. I mean, very, very good, but he was, in the pocket. It was good.
And that was fun, and so we did kind of rock music, and I think maybe Lane thought that's what he was getting into when he joined us, but we picked up on his creative abandon and started doing much weirder stuff when Lane joined the band, much to his chagrin, I think. So that's part of our evolution right there.
Well, in recent years, I've finally found the pocket, and you won't be able to tell it from tonight's performance necessarily.
Yeah, no, when Troy moved to Kentucky, I remember Michael and I, there was kind of only one drummer.
We
in
both
the area.
immediately agreed, we got to get Lane Bayless.
Yeah. He fits our aesthetic.
Okay. We have about 5 minutes left. What song would you guys like to end us out with?
Joel, tell us about Bolting House Mountain, and I'm going to go get the dulcimer.
Okay, yeah. My people on my dad's side go way back in the hill country of Texas. West of Austin, there's a Marble Falls area. There's a bunch of bolting houses, and it's in a book. So because I always thought it was kind of like a family legend, but great whatever Daniel Boltinghouse moved there. I'm not sure if it was Texas yet or Mexico. I'm not sure exactly the year and when things happened, but apparently there was a big hill, and in that area they call it a mountain. But Daniel Boltinghouse apparently was famous for clearing the big area of all of the bear.
Okay.
Yeah, so the hill is still called Boltinghouse Mountain, but when we play this song, we always dedicate it to the bears. So this one's for the bears out there.
For the bears.
Yes.
Hey, let's hear it. You've been listening to Twang Darkly on Red River Radio. Thank you guys so much for coming out and hanging out with me tonight. Any last words before we sign off air?
Just be safe. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you so much, Kiara.
Thank you. At 89.9 FM, this is KDAQ, Shreveport, Bossier City. 90.7 FM, KLSA, Alexandria, Pineville. 90.9 FM, KBSA, El Dorado, Camden, Magnolia. 88.9 FM, KLDN, Lufkin, Nacogdoches. And 100.7 FM, KTYK, Overton, Tyler, Kilgore. Our polls are now closed. They open back up at 7 a.m. tomorrow, but you can still make a contribution of support on our app at Red River Radio and online at redriverradio.org. Up next, let's tune in, turn on, and jazz out with Andy B.